Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin, if you haven't done so already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel after you're done watching this video. There's tons of stuff out there for you to watch already and tons of new stuff that is heading your way. For those that are already subscribed and want to further support the content, there's always Ko-fi or Patreon, as the links will be in the description down below. We have a very important topic to discuss in the realms of Bayonetta 3, and I can't wait to see what you guys have in store for me in the comment section down below. A quick special shout out to the artist of the thumbnail, and that is Datcravat from Twitter, who is a very dear friend of mine, an amazing artist, and I hope you guys follow her after watching this video or just in general, as the links for her stuff will be in the description down below. That being said, now let's get started. So now, the slander of Bayonetta 3. Yes, that is the topic in question for today's video, as you clearly must have read in the thumbnail itself, because this is something very important, and much like how it happened with Kirby and also with Metroid Dread when it was first shown, there's a lot to talk about and how ridiculous the claims have been in regards to Bayonetta 3, whether her design, the fact that the game is somehow garbage, or just the overall fact that Bayonetta somehow just is not what it used to be, exclusivity, all that kind of jazz. Yes, so the slander in question is mostly in regards to her design and the fact that the game is garbage. And we're gonna start with the former rather than the latter for this portion of this video, because first and foremost, if you haven't looked at the thumbnail, and that is very good, that is some really good design for Bayonetta. Yes, this Bayonetta design, the fact that she somehow resembles that of her younger self from Bayonetta 1 is a very good callback to the first Bayonetta game, and something that is very few and rare in today's modern gaming. The fact that there are plenty of references to previous games and also utilizing it in the context of a third game is amazing to see, and it's something that I truly enjoy from this design in particular. And there's probably other reasons why the design is the way that it is. Perhaps this is indeed a Bayonetta that is not the Bayonetta that we know and love from Bayonetta 2. Perhaps this is a younger version. Perhaps Bayonetta 3 is a prequel, prequel, however the timeline of these games work for the game. This is what the design is probably trying to tell us and what Platinum Games wants to showcase. They want to create a very unique aesthetic for Bayonetta, much like how they've done back in the first game and back in the second game, especially considering this is the first female protagonist in the hack and slash genre that Hideki Kamiya created back in 2001 with Devil May Cry. So even before then, Bayonetta has always been ambitious and has always been very amazing in terms of design and in terms of the overall gameplay and what the game has to offer in general for many players to play. Another thing about the slander of Bayonetta 3 is that also the fact that it is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch and not just to all other platforms such as PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. And let me give you a quick tidbit of history here. Bayonetta 2 and Bayonetta 3 are co-owned by both Sega and Nintendo. Only Bayonetta from 2009, only that game, the first Bayonetta, can only be ported to all other consoles because it is co-owned by Platinum Games and Sega only. Nintendo has no involvement whatsoever with Bayonetta 1 as opposed to Bayonetta 2 and of course Bayonetta 3. So your exclusivity thing, all of that arguments of the fact of why it should be in other platforms and all that kind of stuff, throw it out the window because it is a Nintendo product. Bayonetta 3 and also Bayonetta 2 are Nintendo products and they're designed with that hardware in mind. Same thing with Astral Chain, and same thing again with Bayonetta 2 when it was initially released for the Wii U in 2014. Furthermore, the fact that already people are somehow giving this game bad rep because of the fact that it's garbage, or that it's a hype beast type of thing, that it's only there for the hype. Well, let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2 are the reason that we still have action games today. You can make the case with Kingdom Hearts because that's ARPG elements, but even then, Kingdom Hearts was somehow inspired by the core elements of action-paced hack and slash genre style of Devil May Cry, which was before Kingdom Hearts. So all this timeline involved, if it weren't for Bayonetta, we wouldn't be having games like Scarlet Nexus, we wouldn't be having any other ARPG title, period, due to how ambitious they're still sticking to the roots of the hack and slash genre and still making it the way that it is. Astral Chain, a game that is so revered and one of the best in the Nintendo Switch lineup of 2019, would not exist if it weren't for Bayonetta. And in Bayonetta's 3 case, they are taking notes from Astral Chain and that of Bayonetta 2 and enhancing it and making sure that there is quality content and gameplay for you to experience on our hardware system that, yes, it is debatable on whether or not it can handle that. But I trust Platinum Games because, like Astral Chain, they know how to make sure that the game will be solid enough for the Nintendo Switch. And overall, the overall slander of Bayonetta 3, not just the design or the fact that the game is garbage or that it's just some hype fest that'll quickly dwindle, all that kind of stuff, Bayonetta 3 has barely reached the surface in terms of news, in terms of updates and all that kind of stuff. It's been 4 freaking years since we even knew that they were gonna plan on making Bayonetta 3. Ever since 2017 at the Game Awards, presenting Bayonetta 3, now in development, that teaser trailer, and now finally 4 years later on a direct, finally giving the spotlight that it deserves. And the fact that it's getting the slander of it, it reminds me of Metroid Dread. And the point that I'm making with this here is that, by all means, go call this game trash. By all means, go criticize or what you think you're criticizing. By all means, do that. Because at the end of the day, the hype is real. It's been 4 years. Bayonetta 3 is going to be one of the best games for the Nintendo Switch and one of the best that Platinum Games has to offer, just like Astral Chain. This is a new period for Platinum Games because Platinum Games knows how to make games. They know how to give you an experience that you can play over and over and over again because they know what games are meant to be. Same thing with Nintendo here, same thing with anything in general. Bayonetta 3 lives onto the hype. That game is going to sell. Once the pre-order set in, I am pretty sure it is going to be the same case as with Metroid Dread. And Metroid Dread hasn't been nothing of the sort for 19 years. And that game blew up in pre-orders. That game blew up in pre-orders. And Bayonetta 3 is only 4 years. And imagine how it's gonna happen with the pre-orders. Because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same freaking thing, just like Metroid Dread. Same thing with Kirby too, but I'll make a different video with Kirby, don't you worry, I love Kirby. Kirby is amazing. I'll give him a separate video on regards to the 3D Kirby game that was announced, but my point still stands. The hype is real, and get used to this hype, ladies and gentlemen, because it's been 4 freaking years. That being said, now I gotta end this video because I want to keep this short, sweet, and to the point here, and that is keep being awesome, you guys. Keep spreading love and kindness to the world. I know you guys can, and I know I can as well. So let's make sure to at least do 1 act of kindness each and every day to someone out there who needs it, especially in these times. Keep improving yourself by 1%, because by improving by 1%, you can go a long way towards making a better tomorrow. Know that I love you guys forever and always to 120, and I can't wait to see you all in that next fantastic video. And remember, guys, stay freaking sexy and take care.